at the very worst, you will have a replay, even if the video right now isn't awesome. So I'm recording the replay, and we'll be able to upload that. Okay, thanks, guys. So thank you so much for joining me today. This is something I'm really passionate about, and I know that some of you would have heard me talk about this before. And even if you have heard me talk about it before, I think it's a good refresher and a good reminder, because sometimes we get distracted by the shiny things and we forget the things that really, really matter. So what I wanted to do was walk you through this. And this secret ingredient isn't so much of a secret, especially if you've been following me for anything more than a month or so. You certainly will have heard me say this a million times, but I think it's definitely worth repeating. So let's just jump into it. So today what we're going to do is talk about the basics. So having a great website is really, really important, but it isn't a magic fix. And I think there's a lot of people that think that the website is a magic fix, and I want to explain why it isn't, okay? Being active on social media is really, really critical, but probably not for the reason that you think it is important, okay? We'll talk about that. While your audience needs to fall in love with you and your art for you to sell art. Now, this is the really important thing, right? To sell art, you need to build relationships. And to build relationships, people need to fall in love with you as the artist as well as the art. And I want to talk through that. And finally, and I think that this is one of the killers, right? How do you give yourself enough time to focus on the one thing that really matters? And this is where artists are brilliant at really making things harder for themselves. And I just want to cut through the noise on this and give you something to walk away with, okay? So let's just jump into it and we'll go from here. Okay, so the website is important, but it's just a tool. Now, I've seen this many times when people go, I've got my brand new website. I went live yesterday and I haven't sold anything. Or I went live 3 months ago. I haven't sold anything, right? Now, the website is a tool. It's not the thing that's going to sell the art. It's a tool to make it easier for people to buy your art, okay? It's a tool. It's not the be all and end all. So your website, number one, needs to be easy to use. And those of you that are on art storefronts, the website is easy to use. All right. I can see while I'm talking to you, orders are coming in for these calendars that I talked about a little earlier. For those of you who've just joined me, I was just saying before we started that today is an exciting day for us because it's the launch of our 2023 calendars. And this year we've launched 3 calendars. 2 calendars are selling at $45. And then get this one, we're selling 1 calendar at $100. It's a limited edition, hand-signed, hand-numbered, only 100 calendars. So if we sell all 100, which we will, that'll be $10,000 in income just from 1 calendar, right? From 100 calendars. But we've just launched it. In the first 12 hours or so before the email went out to our email list, we sold $3,500 worth of product. While I'm talking to you, I can see my email in the background ticking up and the orders are coming through, which is really, really exciting. But your website needs to be easy, and that's where I was diverting from. If you're on art storefronts, your website is easy to use as long as you don't make it overcomplicated. And one of the ways that artists make it overcomplicated for their clients is by having too many mediums or too many sizes. I personally only offer 3 or 4 mediums, depending on how you look at it, and 4, 5, 6 sizes at the most. 1 finish for each medium, so they can have it in one way or the other. They can't have it anything else, okay? Keep it really, really simple, okay? Your website needs to have built-in e-commerce, and those of you that are on art storefronts, it's got built-in e-commerce, but you could use Shopify, you could use Squarespace. There's a bunch of other websites that have built-in e-commerce. There's no reason to build a website from scratch, okay? So that's important. And it needs to be really, really easy for someone to place an order without you having to interact with that order, okay? Needs the ability to capture leads. So getting people's email addresses and names before they're ready to buy. And that's a critical point. And we will talk about this in further detail later, but your website needs to be able to do this. And of course, if you're on art storefronts, that's built in. Okay, but the ease of use is critical. People need to be able to go, I want to buy that, and I want to buy it now, and I want to pay with my credit card, and I want to be done. Okay. The simpler you make it for people to buy, the more people will buy. Now, that is all your website is about. Your website isn't the thing that's going to sell your art, and I'm going to talk about that in more detail. SmugMug, I'm not sure, Samantha. I'm pretty sure that SmugMug, you can get a premium version where you pay to be able to sell on it, right? But if people can't buy your work really, really easily, then no, you need to find another website platform. Okay, so let's move on. Being active on social media is critical, but not for what the reason you probably think or what most people think, right? The reason social media is so important is it allows you to connect with your audience. It allows you to build relationships by telling stories and educating your audience, right? And what I mean by educating your audience is, people like to know how we create. As artists, what we do is a mystery to a lot of people. So the more that you can show them about your process, the more engaged your audience will be in your work. Okay, so sharing how you do that is important. And right now everybody's talking reels. Reels are fantastic, right? I haven't seen reels convert into sales, but I think they're an awesome tool for educating and engaging with your audience. Okay, so if you've got the time, do it. Absolutely, right? Now, this is the important thing. Social media isn't about the likes or follows, right? They're really cool, they're nice, and it's good to have them. They feel good, right? And they can be addictive. But social media is really about the relationships that you build with your audience, because relationships is the stuff that puts money in your pocket. Okay? Relationships. And if there's nothing else that comes out of today's webinar, is relationships are the most important thing for you to focus on. Okay? But let me explain, and let's go into that in more depth. Right. So when people buy art, especially if they're spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on a piece of work, they need to know you. They need to trust you. They even need to fall in love with you. And I'm not meaning a romantic type of love, but they want to be passionate about what you do. And when people are passionate about what you do, they buy stuff. They commit to stuff. I just talked about these calendars, right? We've just launched the calendar sales, and we're doing awesome straight up, all right? But already this morning, I've had 2 people place orders for calendars and then add another $800 worth of prints on top of their calendar order. Okay? Now, that comes from having a relationship with the artist, a passion for what the artist does, and a passion for the work, right? And you can't sell that sort of work without people being passionate about it. And that's where relationships are so important, okay? We forget that although we're selling a premium product and it can be considered a luxury item, the thing is, every time you sell a print or an original or a product, even a piece of merch, it includes a little bit of you, right? And because it includes a little bit of you, people want to feel connected to you, okay? Now, when it comes to selling art, if they don't love the artist as well as the art, then they simply won't invest, right? They need to fall in love with both the artist and the art, all right? And I can't be more clear on that, because I think it's something that we forget as artists, that, that people just want to see, they see a nice picture and they go, yeah, I want to buy that, all right? It's not that. They want to know the story behind the nice picture. They want to get to know the artist a bit better. They want to feel like they're connected to the story. Okay, and that's what really, really matters when it comes to selling your work. Okay, so why is it important? Right, and I've touched on some of this, but let's go into it in a little bit more depth. It's a luxury product with a twist, and the twist is really, really, really simple. Every piece of art includes a little bit of you as the artist, right? And without the artist, the artwork is incomplete. The story is incomplete. So how do we sell ourselves? How do we help people understand that story, right? And it's not as hard as you think it is, right? What it is telling stories about the work you created, how you created it, showing them, right? You know, I mentioned Reels before, right? Now, Reels are really, really simple to create on your cell phone. They don't take a lot of tools, they don't take a lot of time. But what they can do is give your audience a real insight into you and your work. And the more you can give that insight, the better the results are going to be for your art sales. Okay. So any way that you can help tell your story and tell people the story behind your art, the more work you're going to sell, right? And it connects people to you and your art. When they fall in love with the artist as well as the artwork, it's much, much easier to sell, right? If I'm trying to sell something for $1,000 and you really don't care about me as a person, then you probably won't spend $1,000. You might spend $50 or $100, but I really want you to spend $1,000, right? So you need to feel connected, and that's the important step. And you know, I'm going to talk about an example on this in a moment because I think once you understand the example, then you'll get to it. Okay, so I just want to hammer on this just one more moment. What really matters is relationships. And it's the most important marketing activity that you can do. Building relationships with your fans and followers, full stop, right? It's the most important marketing activity you can be doing, right? How you build relationships is up to you, but it's the thing you need to focus on. And this is where I want you to hone in a little bit. Okay, so this is another step. Artists are brilliant. They are the best procrastinators in the world. We are so good at overcomplicating stuff. We are so good at making stuff so mind-blowingly hard that we get to the point where we just don't do it. Okay? So what do we do to get past that? So number one is take a little bit of time each day to tell a story about you and your art. Right? Now, I actually suggest that you schedule your Facebook posts and your social posts a week or 2 weeks in advance, but you can still take time each day as you're doing your creative process to tell a little story, you know, do a little time lapse, do a little behind the scenes photo. Those sorts of things make a huge difference. Now, you know, as an example, most of you know I work with my friend Natalie, and it's Natalie's calendars that we've just launched. Each week, Natalie will send me 7 or 8, maybe more, images and a couple of videos that are behind the scenes that she hasn't shared most of them on social media. And they're the ones that we include in the emails, right? They make it really, really easy to tell a story because people are seeing the process and demystifying that whole process of creating art. And that, you know, a lot of artists think that the more they show their process, the more people are just going to steal the process, right? Now, I'm a photographer. I can tell you, I used to teach photography and I stopped doing it because of COVID and now I don't have time to do it. But I used to teach landscape photography and I'd take groups of people away to various locations around Australia and I would instruct them. Now, I can tell you, I have had 10 people standing side by side with almost exactly the same camera on a tripod, side by side, with almost identical settings. And I can tell you what, we've never ever seen the same photo twice, right? And that's standing beside each other. So it doesn't matter how much you share your process, right? Nobody's ever going to be able to create your art the way you do. So don't worry about it, okay? Don't get stuck on thinking people are going to steal your ideas, all right? Move on from that. Okay, when it comes to telling your stories, keep it simple. One theme or one subject in a social post in particular, but certainly in an email even. One story in an email. You don't need 10 stories. You don't need a big essay. You need a short, easy to understand story, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs tops in an email. Okay, and if it's a big story, break it into bite-sized chunks. All right, if it's social media, break it into social posts over a week. If it's an email, break it into several emails, right? Edit it down so it's easy to read, easy to understand, and anybody can catch it. All right. That's what's going to make it easier for you to sell stuff. Okay. Now, I'm going to say it again, stop procrastinating, just do it. All right. Taking time to do the work each week, each day, each week makes a huge difference. June, I see your comment, and I know that the internet is being really unstable. I'm recording this video, and we will have it uploaded as soon as possible and send the video out to everybody so you can watch the replay in full color without any hesitations and without any issues, because I'm recording it live on my computer. Okay, I'm going to keep moving, guys. So keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Make your process as transparent as you can. The more people understand your process and you, the better it is for you and your art. Okay? And just stop procrastinating. Artists, we are so good at procrastinating that we don't get anything done. Just take action. Even one little piece of action in a day will make your life easier because you move forward. Okay? Take action every day and you will get there. You'll build you'll build into a habit where you'll get more done. Okay. People do want to fall in love with you, and this is the example I was talking about before. So if you're at your gallery opening, right, you've got a new exhibition, you've got a gallery opening, and you've got 50 people there that have turned up. Now your goal on that evening is to try and talk to as many of those people as possible. They're there because they believe in you and your art, and you want to connect with them. And the more you connect with those people, the more chance you have of selling a piece of art, right? So you try and connect with these people, you're building relationships. And when you're standing in front of someone, you've got body language, you've got facial expressions, you've got hand movements, you've got all of those things, not just the words that are coming out of your mouth. So it's really easy to create a connection in a few minutes when you're talking face to face. Now, online is exactly the same. It's just harder because you don't have those connections, right? But the advantage of online that you can't have when you're standing in a gallery opening or at an art fair is when you're doing those things, you can only talk to one person at a time, right? So you can only have a conversation with one person, maybe two people at a time. But the one-on-one conversations is where you really get that engagement. Now, that's the disadvantage of face-to-face. That's what the advantage of online is. Now, when you're online, you can talk to 500, 1,000, 15,000 people at a time, right? So you can create those relationships on scale, which you just can't do face-to-face. Now, people will say to me often, I need to make money this week. Can you help me make money this week? And the answer to that is, if you're going to try and do that online and you haven't got an audience, then the answer is no. Right? And you need a substantial audience to make money this week online, right? But if you want to make money this week, go and do an art fair, go and do a craft show, go and do somewhere where you're face to face with people, because you can build those relationships really quickly and you can sell today. But there's only so many of those you can do in a year, and there's only so many people you can talk to face in a year. So you do the online stuff, and over time, the online will overtake the face to face because you're getting the scale. You're talking to hundreds of people at a time or thousands of people at a time, and that's where it makes a huge difference. Yeah, one-to-one is what you're going to do. Thanks, Donna. Yeah, one-to-one is really, really important when you're face-to-face, right? But it's not scalable. So this is where online helps you grow your business because it is scalable. You know, I talked about the calendars. I sent out an email to 16,500 people half an hour, 45 minutes ago now, and I can see the orders still coming in while we're talking. So, you know, that scale you can't get when you're doing face-to-face. So it's a balancing act, right? But, you know, short term, face to face is going to get you the best results. Long term, online is going to do it because you can really scale it up. Okay, but at the end of the day, if people like your work, they want to fall in love with you and your work. So you've got to help them do that. Make it as easy as possible for them to get to know you. The more they get to know you, the more they trust you, the more they like you, the more they're going to spend. Okay, it really is that simple. Okay, so how do you create the time to focus on relationships? Because this is where so many people get stuck. Now, number one, shiny things, right? So I see something really cool, I want to try it. That's a great way to get stuck. I'm going to talk about that. Number two, procrastination, right? Artists were awesome at procrastinating. Stop procrastinating, just take action. It should never, ever, ever be perfect. It will never be perfect, right? So don't aim for perfection, aim for action. Makes a huge difference. Okay, one of the ways that I find it really easy to make sure I'm focusing on relationships is when you look at something new, ask yourself this question: is this going to help me build relationships with my audience? Right? If the answer is no, don't do it. You haven't got time to do something that's not going to help you build relationships. If the answer is not sure, put it on your list of things that you might try later. If the answer is yes, then do it. Right? Prioritize the things that help you build relationships with your audience. It's that simple. Focus on the people. And when you focus on the people, you're going to get better results. Okay. So, distractions, they're very easy to find. So, let's talk about the things that you have to do before you're allowed to get distracted. Okay, because we're all going to get distracted. I get distracted every day. I pop into Facebook for 5 minutes to go and check my notifications for my business, and all of a sudden, an hour later, I'm there scrolling through Reels videos. It's really easy to do. Okay, so how do we focus on the things that we must do? So I believe there's two things that you must do every week. Okay, now if you get those two things done, then you can try something that's a distraction. But if you haven't done those two things, then there's absolutely no excuse for being distracted. So number one, really, really, really simple. Every single day, you need to post on Facebook. Okay? You can post on Instagram, you can post on Pinterest, anywhere else that you'd like after you've posted on Facebook. Now, why Facebook? The short answer is, in my experience, the numbers that I see, and I've worked with hundreds of artists, is that the people that get money in their wallet is coming from Facebook, not Instagram. Okay? So focus on Instagram. If you've got time, on Facebook, focus on Facebook. If you've got time, do Instagram too. Do Pinterest, do whatever else that you want to do. Right? But if you haven't got time, focus on Facebook, because that's where the dollars are. Right? I don't care about likes. I don't care about followers. I care about dollars in my wallet. And that should be the only thing that you care about too when it comes to where you should prioritize your time. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying prioritize. Right? So the second task that you have to do every single week, at the very least, every second week. Now, if you've got an email list that's under 1,000, sending an email every second week is fine. If you've got an email list that's over 1,000, you need to be emailing those people every single week. Okay? Now, this is the most important task that you can do when it comes to marketing your art. Absolutely nothing else you do when it comes to marketing your art is more important than writing that email. So if you've gone off and done 10 other things that are shiny new things or that are really good distractions, but you haven't written your email, then that's why you're not selling stuff, right? Stop, focus, write that email. That email is the thing that's going to change your life. It's the thing that's going to put money in the bank, okay? But you can't just send one email and then hope that it's going to bring money in the door, right? It's the weekly emails that you send for a month. You send every month for a whole year that's going to change your life, right? A month or two of effort and then going, it doesn't work, isn't going to work. My experience is, and what I tell the people that I work with, is that you need at least 6 months. For most people, it's 12 months. And for some people, it's 18 months. before your email list is going to start paying you dollars. Okay, so the work you do today is going to have an impact on your bottom line in 12 months' time. Okay, now that sounds scary, but the thing is, if you do that every single week for a year, for 2 years, 3 years, all of a sudden you've got a business, right? And instead of worrying about where the next dollar's coming from, you've invested the time, you know it works, and you continue to grow your business, you continue to sell art, right? But you've got to do it every week. And I can't say this more clearly. That email that you send to your email list is the most important marketing activity you can do in any 1 week. Okay, but you need to do it every week, every month, every year. It needs to be something that's baked into your must-do list every single week. Kathleen is asking, do you have a sample email you can recommend? I reckon if you want to have a look, I'm going to give you Natalie's website. Just sign up for Natalie's website, okay? Because Natalie's website is, this is a six-figure business. We're selling, we're on track to do $250,000 in income this year, online, prints and products, so calendars and cards. No originals, and we're on track to do 250, okay? $250,000. So if you want to see the emails that we send out every week, sign up for Natalie's email list and see what I send out. Now, I write the emails. Natalie provides the content, but I write the emails. I manage this business on behalf of Natalie, which is an unusual arrangement. It's the only arrangement. Don't ask me if I'll do it for you, because I won't. I don't do it for anybody else. And if I did decide to do it for someone else, you couldn't afford me. So don't ask. But you can see what we do. And there are other ways that I can certainly help you, but I can't help you in the way that I help Natalie. This is a full-time business that I'm running for Natalie now. Now, once you've sent your email and you've scheduled your 7 posts on Facebook, then you've got time to do other stuff, right? Now, I honestly believe you can do those things in 2 to 3 hours a week. So then you've got time to try some shiny new things or do your Instagram posts, right? But the other thing that you need to make sure you find time for is here. Reply to every single email. If you send an email out and someone sends you a reply, you have to reply. You want to start a conversation. Don't be creepy, because I've seen artists do this. So someone follows them on Instagram and all of a sudden they're sending the person a DM. Don't do it. It's creepy as hell, right? When someone replies to an email, when someone replies to a post, reply to those posts and try and start a conversation, but don't force it, right? Relationships don't happen instantly. People need to build trust. And the best way you can break that trust down is sound like a used car salesman. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the thing that I hate more than anything is going to buy a new car, right? Or go and buy a new appliance, a washing machine or something. I hate dealing with salesmen. Why? Because they feel creepy, right? Now, have that in your head when you have the conversations with your audience. Don't be creepy, right? Don't make people uncomfortable by stepping over the line and making them feel like this is just weird, okay? Do what you do well, ask good questions, engage people in stories. That is the thing that's going to help you. So to reply to every single email, take your time, start a conversation without being creepy, and reply to every comment on social, every single comment. And I know you will have that one person or two people, and I have them, who literally will comment on every single photo or every single thing that you put online. That's okay. Reply to them, because they're helping you build your engagement up and they're helping the algorithm. It's a good thing, right? Just trust it and move on. Don't overthink these things. Right. So what else have we got? Don't do everything. Now, this is really, really important. One of the things that I hear all the time for artists that I work with is, I haven't got time for everything, right? Nobody does, right? So don't try and do everything. If you see something really cool and you want to try it, put it on a list, right? once you've done your essentials, so you've done your weekly email, you've done your weekly Facebook post, then take something off that list and try it, right? But don't just do the new thing without doing your essentials first, okay? Put it on a list, write it down so you can come back to it later, but don't get distracted by the shiny new thing, okay? Once you've done your essentials, then try one new thing. If it works, great, do it again. If it doesn't work, then maybe you could try it a second time, but if not, forget about it and move on, right? But the key point with this, and I can't be more clear on this, if you haven't done your essentials, then you have absolutely no reason to be doing shiny new things, okay? Because the essentials are the thing that are going to pay your bills. They mightn't pay your bills today, but they will pay your bills in 6 months or 12 months' time. So you need to work on those every single week, okay? If you run out of time, it's because you're being procrastinating or you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, okay? Let's keep moving. Relationships sell art. I've said this a million times. Relationships are the thing that helps you sell more work, right? It's not tricks, it's not hacks, it's not any fancy new thing that someone can tell you that's going to work on. It's the relationships, the number and the quality of the relationships that you build with your audience, full stop. That's the thing that's going to sell you more art. So stop focusing on the numbers, stop focusing on the shiny new things, and look at the people behind the numbers and start building relationships with those people, okay? Because that is what is going to help you sell more art, okay? I can't be clearer on that. So take the time, build relationships with your audience, and remember that relationships, good relationships, do not happen overnight. They take time, they take nurturing, they take both parties to be engaging in their relationship openly and honestly. If you're trying to be someone else, people can see that, right? Be yourself. Just be yourself and do the things that really work for you. I don't understand the question, June. Can you rephrase that? Because I don't get that at all. Right. So anyhow, there's no shortcut to building quality relationships. It takes time. It takes effort from both parties, but you've got to start somewhere. So when an opportunity comes up, start building a relationship with a client, but don't push, right? Let them come back. You know, you've got to give a little bit and wait, give a little bit and wait. Okay. Right. So the only thing that's more important with you building relationships with your audience is creating your art. But there's a proviso on that. Now, if you already have a house full of unsold art, then the most important thing you can be doing right now is just focusing on your audience and building relationships, right? Because there's no point having a house full of art that nobody is buying, right? You build relationships with your audience and then people are going to buy stuff from you. But you've got to build those relationships, okay? Takes time, takes effort, and takes consistency, right? You can't tell me that you've been sending emails every day for every week for a month and then nobody bought anything, so you haven't bought anything else. Yeah, you stopped doing it, right? You need to do it every week, every month, for a year, for longer than the year, right? Just keep doing it. It will pay off, but you've got to be consistent. Yes. No, we don't have for Natalie's work. No, we don't have a group. We literally just got a business page. The Facebook business page you'll find at the bottom of that website. It's just the Facebook business page. There's no group at all. Right. So, how do we help? Now, as you know, I run a business helping other artists. Right. What we do is really simple. We help you take control of your art business, right, by removing the noise, helping you focus on the things that actually work in the long term. We don't have a complicated calendar, right? We don't do endless sales. And in fact, we only do 3 sales a year, maximum 4, right? We generally do Mother's Day sale, we do a Black Friday sale, and then we'll do one sometime in the middle around August, and maybe we'll do another one for a special reason at another time of the year, often just to boost the sales a little bit. We only run 3 or 4 sales a year, full stop. We do the things that we know that we work, and that's what I help my clients do is do the things that we've already tried and tested in our business. Right now, we're on track to have a it's already a six-figure business, but we're on track to do somewhere between 200 and 250,000 K in online sales in 2022. All right. So I can help you use those techniques that we already use in our business so that you can help grow your business. We take the fuss out of building your email list so that you can focus on the people behind the numbers, not the numbers. Okay. And I think that's the key difference. When you focus on building relationships, you will succeed in building your art business. But when you're so distracted by all of the things, the shiny new things, and the things that you think maybe you should be doing, you don't get ahead. So we keep it really simple. We help you build your email list so that you can focus on building the relationships with the people on your email list. All right. That's the whole thing we do. That simple. Okay. So I'm going to finish up today a little bit earlier than normal, but what I think is the key is these things are really, really important. There are no outstanding questions, I believe. There's one question here. Donna, I am having trouble with MailChimp. Is it too time consuming to send from your personal email? Absolutely, right? Don't send mass emails from your personal email, okay? If you're having trouble with MailChimp, I want to know more about that because like MailChimp is easy. I set up an email in MailChimp in 10 minutes, send it out to 17,000 people every week, right? Again, perhaps you're overcomplicating it. Artists, we're really good at overcomplicating shit, right? Personally, I'm not lazy. I work really hard, but I don't like doing stuff that I don't have to do. Right, so I make my life as easy as possible by making things as simple as possible. So Donna, you've got my email address. Shoot me an email and explain your problem. Maybe I can point you in the right direction to. Emails will always go to spam, but not all of your emails will go to spam. The ones that will really matter will get through. So don't overthink that. Honestly, most of your emails are not going to spam. Okay, they're just some people. The noisy people are the ones that you hear about. It's not the ones that you need to worry about. Anyhow, I'm going to finish up, guys. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to give you a slide at the end. If you want to have a chat about how we help other artists grow their business, then book a artist suitability call. We have a 20-minute chat over the phone, and I tell you about how we work and whether we can help you or not. And if I don't think I can help you or you're not ready to be helped, then I'll tell you that. I'd rather work with someone who's at that right point than just grab someone who feels like they're ready. Okay, so thank you for your time, guys. Have a great day, and I will speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.